might go to sleep. But this right here is gonna have a time lapse on it. So I'm gonna set it up and fall asleep for 6 hours, which is 6 minutes to this thing. So enjoy the clip. So the camera is finally saying that it's like getting less and less, so it's like 925 seconds remaining or some shit like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So the camera's actually losing a lot of memory. Well, because I am recording in 180p, so I don't know what else to say about that. So the reason why in the previous video I talked about my ex-girlfriend was because shit, man. She was my world, and she decided to fuck my world up by breaking up with me. So that's all I'm gonna end with. And I'm sorry about the fucking wind. I can't do anything about it. So yeah. I put the date on the bottom left because, like, I was personally not knowing what date it is. Like, right now, I think it's like the 22nd or the 21st. I think? Maybe not. I don't know. But, yeah. I'm working on trying to get episode 5 of the Unholy Survival series up and going. But Bearded Reaper doesn't have a computer. And he blames me for destroying his computer. It's like, bro, it's not my fault your computer's broken. Sure, you might have plugged in your computer into my butt-fast computer. But seriously, dude? Cereal? You really want to say that right now, bro? Right now, I could say this. You wanted to plug your computer into mine, okay? So, it's not my fault, yo. So, this is not a live stream, but it's an unboxing video, and the power's gonna die. I'm gonna open this up, and I'm gonna show you guys the new cards. Alright, so this is probably the stand that I ordered. Oh, that's amazing. And this is the business cards right here.
Batman does pull him out. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, I know I see him there. Yeah. Batman pulls him out of the cat and saves him from drinking. Except for one problem with that, and then he would have been arrested. So he has to save himself.
Alright, here we go.
That's why he wants revenge on Batman.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? That's why Batman is.
Wait, what?
Because Batman didn't try and save him.
Yeah, what the hell?
Batman didn't try to save him. He sees Batman as a villain.
That's probably a blank one. Here's probably the front one.
He's the good guy, and that's why, and that's another level of his crazy. Yeah. You know? And then after, like, one of the things that he'll do right after coming out of that is he'll go to the Sicilian mob and the other mob. He'll go to the mob families, call a fucking meeting.
Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
They'll poison them all.
The new business card. QR code.
No, and it'll be in his fucking flower.
Scan me.
Scan me. Walk up and be like, And then
So I'll be giving these out
turn
now.
around and throw a gas bomb in another dude's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Total Joker movie.
So, I don't know about you, but I feel like I want to go to sleep. I mean, it's like 5 in the morning. I don't know, guys. Just tired. I got that camera going because I'm gonna do a time lapse of me sleeping until like I wake up or something. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna go. See you in the time lapse. Yeah.
Pull up on my grind, 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 pull up on my grind. I'm taking you now. Pull up on my grind, 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 pull up on my grind. I'm taking you now. I'm taking you now.
Yeah, I know. I woke up, like, way long ago, like, I think around 2? 1-ish in the morning? In the afternoon? Oh. Ugh, fuck. So, got it recorded of me sleeping until morning. That was fun. It's been windy lately. So, yeah, just, I don't know.
It's super windy out here, guys. It's super windy. That's what you get for California. It's so windy out here. Like, legit. It's like the winds are going at like maybe 28 miles an hour or some shit like that. Yeah, but I don't know. It's the 25th. Supposed to get data, I guess, today. I don't know. I just been really exhausted lately. YouTube and shit. And, I'm gonna try and get episode 5 of The Unholy Survival out. Sometime next week. This is why I need a YouTube spot, like a YouTube headquarters, where I could go there, make a video, and then have it upload to YouTube. It's like, YouTube, help me out here. Help me out with this predicament I have. Give me a building in Needles that I could just go to and just 2 streams and 2 video uploads. I mean, fucking seriously, dude. Why am I limited to do what I want to do in my own home? It's like, that's all I really want to do is upload videos. I mean, fucking seriously. You know what? I'm just gonna go and buy right and get myself a brisk iced tea. You know, I wish they would sponsor me. Sponsor me. Alright, well, I'm gonna go into buy right real quick. Yep. It's still windy. It's blowing heck of a lot of wind today. So, So tonight, on the 25th, I will try and post as many videos as I possibly can. Because, you know, I have like a shitload of videos that need to be uploaded. And, you know, a lot of you guys missing out on a lot of clips and videos that I did. Like, I had an Apex Legends win, and I haven't even uploaded that clip yet. I haven't even uploaded that video. Which is like, my dude, my bro. What the fuck? Like, I have a whole another vlog that I did, and that hasn't even been uploaded. It's like hashtag sadness, bruh. Like, I need somewhere else to just upload videos, because it's like, it sucks, dude. It utterly fucking sucks. I can't wait until Takagi gets his own place, because I'm thinking about moving the fuck out, dude. I'm gonna move out, and I'm just gonna upload videos to YouTube at my new place, because it's like, I have 1,000 subscribers that I can't even talk to. I can't even reach. I can't even upload a video about it. And it's like, I don't know, guys. I'm just fucking complaining. I'm gonna go. See you guys in the next clip. So hello and welcome back. I had a good old buy right. Sun's up. It's 7-ish. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about was Drew. And I didn't want to tell you guys until I actually got into a video on it instead of a live stream. So, Drew's mother died. And I've known her for 18 years of my life. And okay, I just looked, and her memorial is today at 2:30. I'm pretty sure don't know if I'm allowed to record it, but I will ask Drew if it will be okay. If not, I'll just take pictures and show you. Other than that, yeah. So, what was Drew's mom to me? Okay, she was... How can I explain it? She was a dictator. She always wanted to get things done the right way and quickly. See, Drew grew up not having very much good friends. And then my brother showed up and was like, hey, you want to come to my house? And then he was like, okay. And then Drew met me. And then his mom accepted me because I was just as weird as he was. But I wasn't as intelligent as he is. But beyond that, the weirdness was the reason why we stayed friends. Or best friends. You could have more than just one best friend. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So throughout my years, I was kind of in a competition with her. You know, I've always wanted Drew to hang out more and more and more and more and as much as possible. But the limitations that woman, like, told him was, like, so irritating to me because I wanted him to, like, hang out more and more and more. But since she wanted him to do his work and do this and do that, I didn't have enough time. It was like I was basically battling a gladiator to save, like, a warrior. It's not this princess bullshit. But it's like, I don't know, man. I don't usually talk about Drew because he really wasn't around as much as I wanted him to be. And that was because of his mother. His mother limited me to hanging out with him all the time because she felt like I would kind of be in a distraction to his studies. Which in the long run, kind of wasn't. Okay, there was a lot of times where Drew was like, oh yeah, this is so fun, yeah. And it's like, hopefully today, I will go meet Drew. You guys will meet Drew. And this will be the first time ever on any of my channels you guys will be able to see Drew. He was never in my he was never in any of my old videos ever. Name one. I want you guys legit. I want you guys to go in my vlog channel and my gaming channel. Look for any videos that have, you know, me and Drew. I bet you $20 you can't find anything. He's that secluded from being, like, known on the internet. So, yeah. Here we are. Time lapse. Love it. Time skip. It's a timey skip. You know, I've actually never been in here. Huh. Yes. So I'm number 16.
That's actually a pretty good suit.
Yeah, it was my dad's.
Ah, okay.
See how it could fit me.
Yeah, I was about to say, it actually surprisingly looks a little big on you. So.
Yeah, my dad was pretty big.
Yeah. This is my Aunt Cindy and my Grandpa Andy. This is my mom's sister, Andy Reagan. And
Hello.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
This guy here is pretty much my oldest remaining friend. The one I've had the longest.
18 years.
Yep.
Richard.
Richard, nice to have you here today, Richard. Thank you for coming.
I guess Drew never really talked about me.
No, he does talk about Richard.
Yeah,
Now I know who you are.
I've talked about you in the past.
Hi.
Oh, Bobby's here.
Yeah, of course he's here.
Everybody's been asking me, you know, right? Where's your real dad?
He couldn't come, but I'm going to call him here shortly because he wants to listen in on the service. Because he's kind of in Texas and has a bunch of apartments and my sick grandfather that he can't leave behind. He wanted to come but couldn't.
Right.
But like I said, it's not that he didn't want to. He just couldn't.
Yeah, everybody in my family was like, you're the one closest to Drew and his family. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, they were married for 12 years, so yeah. I was also the one who found her.
Yeah, I know. You're the one who told me.
How was it that your dad died?
Heart attack.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to Mom.
Heart attack on the bed.
Heart attack on the toilet.
My nephew's named after
So, you guys, this is the first time you guys get to see Drew on the, ever. I mean, I've had this channel for like, what, a couple of months? No, like a year.
I thought you had it longer than that, or is this a new channel?
The vlog channel. I mean, the gaming channel's been there for 9 years.
This is different, okay.
Yeah.
I don't do much in the way of vlogs because I limit my facial presence online, obviously.
Well, knowing me, you know where I am.
Of course I know where you are, but we're leaving to go back home on Monday.
So,
Kinda can't be away.
needles, Richard.
yes.
Yeah.
Nope, I just got a ride. That's all that
You
happened.
did? Oh, I thought you might have walked, but okay.
No, I got a ride.
Okay. Who'd you get a ride from?
My friend Larry.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
There's actually a couple of people here I don't know. I think some of them are friends of his. I was about to say I think some of them work with Bobby, and some of them work with Mom that I never met. I know there were some people that she knew that I never met, so I imagine a couple of them might come.
yeah.
Glad you got a blue shirt on today.
Yeah, I knew. I looked specifically for something that was blue.
Yep, I had Grant to make sure
Oh.
you had a blue shirt on too.
I forgot to show you something. I got that achievement that I've been building up for about 9 years.
What achievement is that?
You're about to find out. I've been building up to this moment to finally show you.
I think a lot of people did the smart thing and came dressed in blue and purple. I think, yeah. Okay, so you finally got to 1,000 subscribers. Good.
Yep.
You've got 160,000 views, so that's roughly 1.6 viewers per subscribe.
Yeah.
I don't know how I do it. I have a fraction. I have a fraction of.
Yeah, I know.
number in
You told me you
subscribers.
had
I
like
think
15 subscribers or something.
No, I think it was like 150, and yet I had like 2 or 3 times as many views.
I know you had like 500,000.
Yeah, I think it's because the videos I did generally are more popular because a lot of more people are going to look for music than vlogs. Vlogs are often a pretty niche thing, which only a certain amount of people gravitate towards. I mean, I don't watch that many vlogs, so yeah.
Yeah. I only started doing this because, I was putting all my vlogs on my gaming channel and it was all about gaming and not generally, if I'm just talking to the camera, it's just not really gaining. So I created the vlog channel and that's what this is.
Later on after we're done.
So yeah.
That's part of my presentation.
So just make sure to get a lot of good shots and views. We can use all the backups we can get,
there's
multiple angles and such.
Yeah, there's another.
Oh, you're gonna love this camera then.
Yeah, exactly.
Cue the pictures. there is one thing I want to know. Hey, Bobby, what's going on?
Glad to see you here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for doing a little filming and giving us a different angle on things too.
Well, yeah. It comes up in 100. Oh God, the focus. Come on. There you go, camera. That's good camera.
Chris wanted it to start 5 minutes late.
At least 5 minutes late for my sister. At least.
There is.
Alright, make it a little bit
Panoramic view. There we go.
I know that's what my sister's husband used to say is, boy, you know,
Excuse me.
washing my clothes in warm water.
So, where do I sit?
Just pick a spot and park it. There's no predetermined seating, except for us up there. That's where the family and I sit. That's why there's only 4 chairs there.
Right.
Yep. The service is going to start in a few minutes.
This is our clubhouse. Chris was a member and has been for a long time. We go back some years, maybe 15 years, and we're basically going to follow the program. There's a program on the back, and so I'm going to put it in the hands of our president at this time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome here. Sometimes you say it's always sad that we have to get together on a sad thing, so you're welcome back anytime. And I do want to open with a little prayer. You don't have to rise, I guess. We can stay seated. We're comfortable. Please bow your heads. Our Father, who art in heaven, thank you for being with us in this time when we do need your love and guidance. Sorrow has intruded into our lives, and we share that grief with the family. Lord, we ask that your presence be our benediction. May your goodness be the guidance in our present and future endeavors. Guide us, enfold us, surround us with your love and light from above. Lighten the heaviness of our loss. Our Father, let the soul of each person here, be it family or friend, be filled with steadfast love and devotion for each other, and in so doing, remember our dear friend Christina Mills. Chris had a love of people and all animals. Thank you, Lord, for being with us always, and may you always answer our prayers. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Ray? Wherever you feel comfortable.
Sitting down there. I don't really have any prepared statements per se, other than that I found out I was going to be speaking just a short while ago. But it's really not hard. Chris was a very special person. I met her in 2007 when I was finishing up on another job, which quite frankly hadn't gone so well. I had applied for another job in Las Vegas, Nevada, but for whatever reason it was, they couldn't start me until like January of the following year. This was in October of actually 2006. What it was is I saw a volunteer opportunity at Mojave Preserve and decided, you know, I never worked in a national park before. This sounds kind of neat. And so plus, the best part is you get to learn how to drive a four-wheel drive vehicle. So since I didn't have one, I thought, that sounds pretty good. Somebody else pays for it and furnishes it and everything else. So I called for sending a resume in to this person named Christina Burns. And I sent my resume in, and I didn't hear anything back. And so after a couple months or so, I gave her a call and got a hold of her. And I said, hi, my name is Greg. I applied for the volunteer host position at Bowling Ball. I was wondering if you got my resume. And she said, yeah, I got your resume. Very interesting resume. And I said, okay, I've had a lot of jobs. I just want to tell you something. I'm not crazy. I just have had a lot of fluid jobs in my life, and that's the way it's worked out for me. And, I just would like to come and do this for a couple of months. It was like a 3-month commitment. And so I said, does this meet your criteria? And she said, well, let me ask you something. Are you homeless by any chance? And I found out later that she had had a bad experience with a volunteer who had been homeless, so she was a little bit sensitive to that. So she asked me, are you homeless? And I said, well, professionally or non-professionally? And she said, well, what does that mean? I said, well, I'm a full-time RVer. I've got this trailer that I work and live out of and everything, and I do these different jobs. And I think it would fit in perfectly with your rural environment there. And so she said, okay, why should I hire Greg Thornton? And I said, well, 2 reasons. 1, I smile a lot, and 2, I'm willing to do it. And there was like several moments of silence. He says, I think you're the kind of guy I'm looking for. And so I came to work for her, worked there for my 3-month commitment. And then it turned out, in the meantime, another employee had decided to quit, who was actually a paid staff person. So she said, I really need you to come back and work again during our high season, which is March and April. And I said, well, why don't you hire me? And then I can honestly say that I can turn down another job and say I'm doing this other job here. And she said, let me make a couple of phone calls. And then she got right back to me and said, it's a done deal. So I went to work for her for an 8-week period of time. And then she said, you got to apply for the permanent position, the permanent seasonal position here that will be opening up next year, which I did. I understand that she was very instrumental in hiring me for that position. And I worked both for and with her for the next 10 years. So it was something that started off with boss, employee, evolved into a good working relationship, and then evolved into a very good friendship. And I told Chris this several times in my life. I've had a lot of jobs, including management level positions and stuff. I told her, in fact, 3 days before she passed away, or whatever it was, I said, the best decade of my life was the decade that I had at Mojave National Reserve. She was a great boss, a fantastic human being, and a great friend. And I will always, always, always be grateful to her for giving me that. Thank you.
Linda is going to be so nice to read the obituary for those of us who are having trouble reading the small print.
I'm here with the club, second vice president, so I'll be doing it. I've never been good at being up front, but I'm doing this for Chris. Okay. Christina Marie Reagan was born on January 12, 1961 in Youngstown, Ohio, to Andrew and Betty Reagan. She was the oldest of 3 children. She graduated from Salem High School in Salem, Ohio, and graduated from Kent State University in Kent, Ohio. Chris died unexpectedly in her home in Snowflake on October 11, 2019. She volunteered for the Peace Corps and was going to the Philippines until the revolt there redirected her life. She got a job at Big Bend National Park in Texas, where she met and married her first husband, David Burns. To this union, 1 child, Andrew H. Burns, was born on July 25, 1992. Unable to get a permanent job with the Park Services, she got a job with the IRS as a secretary in 1988. This maneuver got her permanent government status, allowing her access to the National Park Service jobs. She got her first NPS job at Guadalupe Mountains National Park in 1989, and it lasted until 1992. She then transferred to Carlsbad Cavern National Park in March of 1992. In May of 2000, Chris left Carlsbad and started her new service at the Mojave National Reserve and retired on August 31st, 2017 with the title of District Interpretive Park Ranger. She married her second husband, Robert Mills, on May 7, 2005. While living in Needles, California, they purchased a retirement home in Snowflake, Arizona. Chris and Bob became permanent residents of Snowflake in 2018 while preparing their home in Needles to sale. Her husband, Robert Abram Mills of Snowflake, Arizona, was born and raised in the Waterloo, Cedar Falls, Iowa area. Robert is employed in Arizona as a National Park Ranger and has been employed in Iowa, California, and Arizona as a professor of business and mathematics. Christina was a kind, caring, wonderful woman who would scold her husband for swatting flies. She would spend 2 weeks in early December baking and packing holiday packages for friends and family all over the country. She volunteered at Women's Club of Needles, where she was a member for many years, and worked on numerous fundraisers and philanthropic events. She was known for her ability to crochet and knit beautiful hats and scarves. She was great at crafts. Christina was a strong supporter of her son, husband, family, the Women's Club of Needles, the Needles Chamber of Commerce, and the community she called home. She loved animals, nature, the national parks, and the environment. She loved to vacation and used to travel to visit many U.S. national parks and those in different countries. She will be sorely missed by all who knew her. Her passing leaves a hole that will not easily be filled. All of Needles mourns her passing. She is survived by her husband Robert Mills, son Andrew Burns, parents Betty J. Hilbert of Champion, Pennsylvania, and Andrew J. and Ruth Reagan of Poland, Ohio, sister Cindy Wilson, Mike of North Lima, Ohio, brother Keith Reagan of Gibsonton, Florida, two nephews, Jonah and Spencer, and one niece, Darlene. Stepbrothers and sisters, Butch and Annie Dincio, David and Donna Hilbert, Debbie Hilbert, Donna and Sally Hilbert, Don Hilbert, and Denise Hilbert, all of Youngstown, Ohio. A host of other friends and family, too numerous to name. The family requests in lieu of flowers to please donate to the Women's Club Scholarship Fund or the Needles Spark to Love Toy Drive. Thank you, the family of Christina Marie Reagan Mills.
People, and we live out east, and so we are a completely different time zone. All right, so I'll share this is what we get. At dusk today, saw a badger crossing the gravel road on the way back to the farm. I was 99% sure it was a badger. When I stopped the truck, it stopped to look at me several times, and the white stripe on the head was clearly visible. Badgers live in about 60% of the U.S., predominantly out west and in the Great Lakes states. They are rare in western Ohio and Indiana and aren't found in Pennsylvania or Florida. They are bigger than groundhogs, but have a similar shape and walk and are primarily nocturnal. They have long claws in digging, and when backed in the corner, they are fierce fighters. I only saw 2 badgers in 17 years at the Mojave National Preserve, so sighting was a rare treat. She's so excited about these kind of things. So all across the United States, we're getting these messages. So my brother writes back from Florida, "Hey Chris, let me know when you see a fox." And then Chris's response, "Foxes are more common than badgers and coyotes, are frequent visitors near the farm. Coyotes and owls are why you don't let cats or small dogs out at night." And it's just so funny because she always responds back with like an educational opportunity for us to learn about what's going on. And then 12 people on this, remember, 3 hours different time zone. Finally, I have one that says, "Hello, did I accidentally get added to this group conversation? I don't know any of you, and while your conversation is quite interested, I'm quite lost." And then my aunt chimes in, "Can you take me off this email? It's 3 o'clock in the morning here." And so this is the kind of stuff. And we just got such chuckles out of this, so I thought I would share that with you. But I think if you all know Chris, you know that that's kind of what her life was and what things were important to her. And also, we just wanted to thank you so much for coming. And she loved being here, and she loved working with all of you here at the Women's Club. I know she really loved the Park Service, and she was able to live out her dream. Not a lot of people are able to do that, and Chris was really able to do that. So for that, we're thankful. We're thankful for all the support of her friends, and we ask that you continue to keep this family in your prayers and support Bob and Drew as they're figuring out next steps. And thank you for doing this for us today. Thank you.
I'd like to just say with my daughter, thank you all for coming to honor Chris. She'll be dearly missed. Thank you.
In all honesty, I really don't know what I could say because there's honestly way too many memories for me to possibly choose any one individually. I can tell you that my stepdad and I agreed that she probably went out at what was probably one of the happiest times of her life because it seemed like everything at the farm was falling into place for her. And the last text she sent to me that morning was in typical mom fashion, asking what chores I had gotten done since I got home. And I was kind of vague. It was kind of vague, and I said, "Oh, I got all that done, and I'm gonna go open the gate now because we were expecting someone to come to fix my generator or my heater in the trailer." And she says, "Finished what? Specifics, please." And she also told me to bring my laundry over, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just tell her when I go over and bring the laundry. And so I go in there. I put my laundry down in the laundry room, and I go in there to talk to her. And she's of course sitting in her favorite chair with her blanket wrapped around her. She's got one or two cats sitting in her lap, and she's playing on her phone as always. And so I, of course, tell her what it was that I had gotten done, what I hadn't gotten done. And then I asked her, I remember one of the last things I asked her was, what did she think of me trying to do my hair a little more forward to hide the fact that I'm starting to bald? And she was kind of mostly ambivalent towards it, she was honestly more interested in her phone at the time. So basically I said, well, okay, Mom, I'm gonna go back over to my trailer, have some lunch, and wait for this guy to come. And that was the last time I spoke to her and saw her alive. But as I said, there was a lot falling into place at the farm. Everything seemed to be going all right. Everything was falling into place. A lot of stuff had gotten done, and she had actually confided in my stepdad that she was just so darn happy and excited about living there full time. And so, yeah, she at least she died where she always wanted to be. Surrounded by her cats, surrounded by her family, and I guess the best I can say is that there wasn't any better way to go. She was a fixture of my life for 27 whole years, and there were ups, there were downs, and there was everything in between, but she was always there for me at the end of the day. No matter how much it annoyed me. But I truly don't know what I'm going to do without her now. But I do know that even when she's not here, she's taken care of every single one of us in her own way. And like my aunt and my grandfather, I want to thank all of you for coming out and supporting us and remembering my mom for everything that she did for everybody. And she will be dearly missed by us all. Thank you.
My name is Richard Gardner. When I met Chris was when I met Drew. He showed up at my house with my brother Michael, and he was talking all about Lord of the Rings and all these fancy movies he's seen and all these games. So I was like, I'm a gamer and I'm a fantasy lover too. See, when I met Drew, he didn't have many friends. Chris accepted me to be Drew's friend, which, if it wasn't for Chris, I'm pretty sure me and Drew would not be friends. So I'm very happy, and I can't describe the words that I could just say out loud, but I'm so glad I met this family, because If I would have never met Drew, I would have not known I was not as intelligent as he is. And I thank Chris for pushing him so hard to teach him the books. So, good on you. And thank you, Chris, for accepting me in your family.
Me and Chris were alike in a lot of ways that we didn't know. Different cultures. We saw issues the same, but we didn't handle them the same. We didn't know who was the boss and who half the time. But we knew when to say, okay, let her have it, or let her have it. So that kept our friendship alive. Chris texts. I don't really text. And so Chris used to text me. And then she used to say, how come you're not answering my text? Then she emailed me. How come you're not answering my text? And then she would call me. You're not answering my text or my email. Bob texted me on Chris's phone a couple of days ago. And he forgot to call me and say, you're not answering my text. So I'm struggling today. Today has been a day. I thought I was doing really good all last couple of weeks, and I'm okay, but today was a difficult day. So if no one else has nothing, I think my story is probably in one of the songs on the slideshow. Is that okay? Everybody ready?
I wanna go to a place where I can feel the rain again. I wanna reach the mountain where I can soar across the sky. And so my feet start to tremble, they lift off the ground. I leave it all behind, and I can see the horizon, it's calling my name. I leave it all behind. I'll rise above all that I hold dear. I'll never fall. I'll always soar across the sky. I wanna fly through the night and feel what I used to be. I wanna run away where I can soar across the sky. And so my feet start to tremble, they lift off the ground. I leave it all behind, and I can see the horizon, it's calling my name. I leave it all behind. I'll rise above all that I hold dear. I'll never fall. I'll always soar across the sky. fall.
Your face said it all to me. I could tell you didn't wanna leave, 'cause you knew what was best for me. Who knew what we had become? A monster inside of us. We had it coming along for a while now. We had fire burn at the start, but emotions put it out. Just waiting for something to spark again. I keep asking myself how it's happened, and now I'm asking, how will I go on? Now I'm asking, without you. Wildfire at the start, then we turned to ashes, taken by the wind, gone forever. I wish I could go back and turn the table when we were younger. I wish I could change you. We fell out, we were the stars with no light, with snow in July, with the earth with no light. I keep asking myself, how's it happening? Now I'm asking, how will I go on? Now I'm asking, all that.
Somebody's out there, someone to calm my mind. Feels like I'm falling, feels like I'm out of time. Trapped in a prison, a fortress of solitude. And all my decisions, they led me so far from you. No one knows but me, the pain I put you through. No one knows but me, the reasons why I do the things I need to. I tried so hard to tell the truth. I made
I was Chris's husband for almost 14 and a half years. 15 days ago, my world was shattered. Which in a way is kind of strange because I was thinking back the past couple of weeks that a little over 15 years ago, I had no idea that this woman even existed. I was back in Iowa, middle-aged guy facing loneliness, and I thought, I'll try this eHarmony stuff. You know, I got a computer, how hard can it be? So I got on eHarmony, and I kept getting, I got matches. I got on several months before Chris did. I got matches, but they progressed just so far, and then I'd find out there was some fatal flaw, either with me or with them. Usually with them. But to give you an example, and I told Chris this later on, and she got a big laugh out of it, and I told her parent, her dad, there was this lady from Oklahoma, and she seemed like really nice, and one of the things you get to do is you get to fill out profiles, and then you get to ask questions, and they answer them, and then they ask questions, and it's back and forth, and it's loads of fun. So anyway, one of the questions I always asked everybody was, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? And this answer I got back from this woman was, I have a superpower, and someday when we get to know each other, I'll tell you what it is. Whoa! So, and so I, went through a couple of cycles, and a couple of weeks later I said, I'm dying to know what your superpower is. And she wrote back that she saw dead people. And I thought, So, how do you respond to that? So I responded kind of non-committally, and I waited for a response from my non-committal response, and I didn't get anything. And so I looked up, I went back to her profile, and I had been blocked. Big red X. And I thought, oh, what's up? So I asked, why did you block me? And the snake said that she said that I was too weird. Lady that sees dead people thinks I'm too weird. So when Chris and I got matched, which was, by the way, very strange because I was outside her age group that she had. That's one of the things you can say. You can say you want young chicks or old men or something. I was outside that age group, so it was kind of strange that we got matched. But as we went through this thing, I said, Chris, I said, I really like you and everything, but I said, about this time I find out there's something about you, or you find out something about me that isn't quite right. And she said, well, I said, what's the worst thing about you? What's something you're hiding from the rest of the world? And she said, I have a box room. And I said, so you have a room in your house full of boxes? And she said, yeah, and they haven't been unpacked in 5 years. And not only did she have a room in her house, but she had the living room corners. And I said, why would you keep all these boxes unpacked? She says, I'm not really planning on staying here that long. And she ended up staying 17 years, so I don't know what. In fact, some of those boxes are out of snowflakes still unwrapped. So I have to go through those someday. But there was a lot of information I found out about Chris. And I found out that she can't stand someone who uses illegal recreational drugs, racist, lying, rude, denial, intolerant, mean-spirited, all of these things, and things that she liked, things she wanted. And I found out that she always wanted to go to England. And I told her, I thought that's neat, somebody wants to travel, I like to travel. Anyway, these pictures that you saw up on the screen, This was Drew and Chris and Drew at Christmas of 2003. This was the pictures that she showed me on Facebook, on the eHarmony. And I thought, wow, okay, I can live with that. She asked for a picture of me, and I sent this only one picture I had that I could get on a computer. And she and Drew, she said that they were at different angles, squinting, trying to shine light on it, trying to make out, what it was on that I sent them. And it was a picture of me. It was a bad picture, but I told her, I said, that's the best I can do for now. And she said, okay. So I found out she wanted to go to England. And I told her that I put that in my memory bank. One day we were conversing on the computer, and she said, I'm flying out, it's about September. I'm flying to my father's house, and I'm coming back through St. Louis. Would you like to drive down to St. Louis and take a chance on seeing me in between flights for a 2-hour delay? And I thought, well, let's see, this is about a 12-hour drive. If the plane gets in late, no, I don't. But, I said, I will drive all the way to Cleveland, where you're taking off, if you have your father drop you off a couple hours early so we can guarantee we talk before the plane takes off. And so her sister was dead set against it because she knew I was just some guy that was out after Chris's retirement funds and everything else. And everything. She was very protective. Cindy's very protective of her sister. And one of the things she wanted my honorably discharged papers. She wanted my bank statements to make sure that, well, I'm serious, that's, and she did. And she wanted my police record, which fortunately I don't have one, but she wanted, And so what Chris did was she sent me a packet for volunteering out at the park. So I had to supply the information so she could have the LEs run a background check on me. And Chris says, you don't feel bad about this? I said, no. I says, you got to protect yourself. I said, I could very possibly, be on America's Most Wanted next month. You don't know. And so she was at least happy that I was willing to go through this. Anyway, I drove 12 hours to Cleveland from Cedar Falls, Iowa one night. Her father drops her off. Now, I'm there 4 hours early because I don't want to miss her. And I drink lots of coffee. It's at night, so I drink every 7-Eleven along the way. I'm getting a cup of coffee. And so when I get to the airport, I go to the bathroom about a dozen times from all the coffee. But I also take my toothbrush and toothpaste, and I brush my teeth about 2 dozen times. Because I had plans. I had already decided I was going to marry this one. So she gets out of the car. I'm watching. And I see her get out of the car. She gets on the curb. She kisses her dad and has misty eyes. And I said, oh, great. She kissed an old guy. That means I got a chance. It's not entirely, beyond the realm of reason that she'll go for an old guy. So she comes in. I give her some flowers. I have some flowers for her and a book for Drew. And we talk for a couple of hours. And she gets up and she says, it's time for my flight. So I walk her over there. And she reaches out to shake my hand. And I look at her and say, oh no, you shouldn't. She what? I said, shake your hand. What the heck? I said, so I grab her and I give her a big kiss, and Drew hollers out, wait, what are you doing to my mom? And I said, well, nothing we can't do in public. And so I told her, I said, Chris, you're going to marry me. And she says, we'll see about that. I said, no. I said, I already got it, it's all planned out. And she kind of shook her head, and I says, when you get to Las Vegas, when you get to Neil's, give me a call. I said, because I'm going to be driving back 12 hours to Cedar Falls from Cleveland. So I said, this is going to be, I said, I'd like to talk to you if I can. Because you're the one. She kind of rolled her eyes a little bit, and I gave her another kiss, and patted you on the head, and I left, and they left. And so, as time progressed, I don't know when it was that Chris decided, but I kept getting these presents in the mail. I got a pair of candlesticks with candles and all this, and perfumed, and loaves of bread in the mail, and all different kinds of great stuff. And I thought, oh, this is a good sign. And indeed it was, obviously. So I finally said, hey, how about you taking a couple days leave, you drive to Las Vegas, I'll fly into Vegas a couple days before you get there, and I can show you how to gamble and all this good stuff. And she said, I think I'd like that. So she came into Vegas, and we had a good couple of days. And when she left, she was very misty-eyed. And I thought, oh, that's a good sign, too. And while we were there, I said, I'd really like you to come pick me up, take me to Needles next month, and I can spend a week or two helping you fix up your house and blah, blah, blah. And she said, oh, I don't know about that. Maybe a couple of days. Well, when she left, she said, I told you a couple of days. If you want to stay a week, you can. And I said, oh, okay. So I was very happy. I was getting into her under her skin, I guess. And I was there during October. Came back I took Drew around trick-or-treating that year. And I came back in November, and I told her, I was going to take you out to dinner. So I took her out to dinner, and with Drew standing there right beside me, I gave her this little locket, little heart. And inside is my mother's wedding ring. And I told her that if she ever wanted to get rid of me, she only had to give me the locket back. And she told me she was going to bury it in the backyard. She couldn't do that. I told her, don't do that. We're going to move someday, and I don't want you to forget where the locket's at. So she did. So she kept it in a drawer at home. And she said yes. And so I started planning the wedding. And it's really funny. While we were there, she came out and she said, I want to take you out to dinner, but you got to dress up in a suit. And that's that picture on the left up there. And it was all a big ruse to get Drew and I have our picture taken for Christmas. That was our Christmas present in 2004. So anyway, she asked me, she said yes, she said, why should I say yes to you? And I said, because if you do, we'll honeymoon in England. And she said, really? I said, yeah. And she says, oh, okay. It's a yes. So I talked her into that. And one of the things I learned from eHarmony was Chris really, she wanted to always, she said, will you always hold my hand when we go places? And I said, sure. Yeah. And we did. And all over Las Vegas, all over England, at every opportunity we were holding hands. And I wrote, while I was courting her, I wrote 3 books of poetry. Oh. And she would always say, I got your poem in the mail today. I was really feeling kind of bad about this or being away from you or whatnot. And it made me feel really happy to see your words. And I wrote her this poem, and it had to do with, I slowly squeezed and then released and hold her hand in mine. I look into her eyes and lose myself, and find myself plotting years ahead to a future that we hold together in the squeezing of a hand, bedroom drapes and wind chimes, big pillows and window shutters, snowfalls in time, warm kisses on a cold winter's night, and touching in the most familiar way, pleasure gotten and oft time forgotten that comes from the squeezing of a hand. And she thought, she told me I was the most romantic man she ever knew. I don't know, I guess she didn't know a lot of men. But anyway, this possibility. Chris was a special person for many ways. I found out that she had, when I first talked to her, she had 3 cats. About a year into our marriage, we had 7. We had, and it's sometimes the weirdest things bring people together. When I was there in October, this kitten came to the back door to feed on some food that Chris had left out. And I noticed that his paw was just bloody. And I tried to catch him, and he wasn't having any of it. I told Chris, I said, there's a kitten that's coming around with a bloody paw. You might want to catch him. And she did. And I was back in Iowa. I had my phone off because I was I was playing bridge. I was in a bridge tournament. So I had my phone off, and I turned my phone on after the tournament, and I get this weeping woman, and she's just beside herself, and she's talking about this poor little kitten that she has 3 options. She can put it to sleep for $80. She can take it to Vegas and spend $1,000 on maybe reconstructing this, or she can spend $325 and have the leg amputated. And she's telling me, she says, I don't have $325, I don't have $1,000, I just barely have $80. And she's going on and about how it's not the little kitten's fault that it's going to be put to death, and oh my goodness gracious. And it's just, you hear that and you think, really? This is remarkable. I mean, she was so into that poor little kitten, and this is the first time she'd seen it. So I called her up and I said, I just happen to have a spare $325. You take the cat to the vet and have him amputated. We have another cat. She says, you'd really do that? I says, yeah. She says, but...
So it's the next day. Yeah. Yep. I'm actually gonna talk to you guys for a second. Hold on. I didn't say this at the funeral, but I'm gonna say it to you guys. Drew's mom did a lot for me. I remember all the Christmas, and she would come over to my house and give us fudge and surprise us with certain gifts, like the whole shop with a cop. She helped me do the shop with a cop. I mean, I think there's a picture of me somewhere. I can still hear her voice in my head. Considering that, she always got under my skin about certain aspects of my life that I chose, and she always criticized me about it. She was basically my second mom. And she she always got under my skin because my mom always, you know, made me do things freely, and she was, I guess, in a sense, jealous of that. So I'm thinking the reason why Drew was pushed so hard was because she didn't want him to end up like me, free and uncontrolled. Everybody's gonna be weirded out by this, but yeah. See, first time I met Drew, Chris was super excited about how her son finally made a friend. I mean, the first time I met, she was like, "Who's this? Oh my god. Are you his friend?" "Yeah." "What? Who else would I be? A stranger? Coming into your home?" So, she also wanted me. She was the inspiration of why I wanted to, learn more about our planet and about the economy. Because she gave me little lessons here and there. Remember all the times that we went swimming in his pool in the backyard of his house? She always tell us to wear goggles because of the chlorine. We never listened. Time flies by when you're having fun. But it went by too fast, and she was gone too quickly. I can remember all the times that, she criticized me about everything. I remember one time that I showed up at their house and I was super tired. I was up for 24 hours. And I can remember all the times that when I ever said something about myself, she always says, "Oh my god." So yeah, I'm gonna miss her. Truly gonna miss her. So, fire hydrant. Fire hydrant. So, yeah. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna take this pamphlet or thing up to my mom, because she'll want one too. And she knew Chris as well. I don't know. I'm just beside myself. Just not in the mood. It's gonna be kind of hard for me for a couple days. I don't know. So, I'm gonna leave you all off with a bit of wisdom. Just a little bit. there's this saying I do. I say a lot. Everybody might say, you didn't create it, Bo. You know how when it says YOLO, you only live once? Well, I said one time to one of my friends, no, you don't always live once. You live every day. You only die once. So, peace and apple grease. Sliding out.